Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Ruth Horry. I am the owner of the Coco Pauline Company, and I am so excited for this week 3 recap. So, today we talked about resources that are available to those who are in care. And so, we particularly focused on residents who are in group homes today, and it was an amazing conversation. It's something really special when you start to build and develop a relationship with young people and you're able to really connect with them and like start to do the work. The first couple sessions, it was like so hard to even get people to come downstairs and to join. And today we had a full house, so my heart is full. And I'm just so grateful to have had this conversation and to, just to have my ear to the ground. And a lot of this experience has been through my own, and truth be told, that was about 15 going on 20 years ago. And the way that the youth are experiencing care today is different. It's different. And so yes, there are some things that we have in common and some things that we can definitely relate to each other, but there are some things that I'm there to learn. And so I'm just really excited to have had that opportunity. So we talked about basic needs, things like, food, clothing. We went a little bit more in depth because we had some residents that are actually, one had their keys and is moving into their own apartment. And so we talked about knowing that when you're in care or connected, that there are so many aftercare programs that can assist you. When I aged out of care, there was a nonprofit that I was able to get a down payment for my first car. There was another one where I got my first desktop for home. So we just talked about some of those resources, and we also had a young lady who is just starting this journey. And so she will be in this placement for a couple of years. And so just, having those conversations about, what are you trying to achieve during the time that you're here and just making the most out of it. And so I was just really excited to have had that opportunity to have that conversation. And so we also had a little activity today and we talked about automatic thoughts. And so we discussed the fact that we have between 70 to 100,000 thoughts every day, which is it's really mind blowing. And they're consistently helping us to interpret the world around us, and describing what is happening and trying to make sense of it by helping us to interpret events, through sound, through light, smells, and feelings. So we talked about how thoughts are, so just literally that thoughts are not facts, thoughts are statements, and we all have them. And so when we talk about how many we have a day, that can be overwhelming for anyone. And so just trying to help young people to realize that although we're thinking these things, and a lot of the times those are associated with how we were raised and the environments that we were in. And so just being reminding ourselves not to believe everything you think. I know you hear don't believe everything you hear, but it's really important to also remember to not believe everything that you think, because a lot of the time our previous experiences, our upbringing, our culture, our religious beliefs, our family values, they all make us give different meaning to situations than someone else. Um, they and then these thoughts result in physical and emotional reactions. And so examples of that would be, a thought pops into your head of, um, everything is hopeless and I'm totally worthless. Um, no one likes me and that's not going to change. So that's the thought that popped into your head, and the emotion that comes with that could be depression, right? And so because of that thought, you now feel this emotion of depression, and now you act it out in either withdrawing or isolating yourself. And so I gave an example of how I feel towards my family and like some of the upbringing. And so a thought will pop into my head, which will make me feel the anxiety or in that case, the depression, which causes me not to want to deal with those situations. And so reminding young people that recognition is the first step. So once we realize, okay, first, all of these thoughts that I am having are normal. That's step one. We all experience them. We all have those thoughts of, why did I just think that? Why did my mind just go there? And that's just the mind itself. The mind is an amazing organ, and we still have a lot to learn. And so just reminding ourselves, one, we have a lot of thoughts. Two, those aren't facts. Those thoughts are just that. And then reminding ourselves in the next step of that process is, are those thoughts shaping the way I feel? And is that in turn shaping the way I act? It's one thing to think it, it's another thing to do it. And so automatic thoughts they can be words, they can be an image, they can be a picture, a physical sensation. Um, and for a lot of the times they're believable. So we tend to automatically believe our thoughts, usually not stopping to question if they're valid or not. Um, another another way to look at that is also, they just pop into your head and you often don't even notice them. And so it's hard to tell, is that like my intuition? Is that the way that I'm thinking? Um, and so deciphering them. So just learning to question your thoughts. Where did that come from? Why do I feel that way? I think are the beginnings of just recognizing, because I don't want young people to feel overwhelmed because thoughts can be persistent. Our thoughts seem to repeat over and over. And then the more they repeat, the more they're believable. And so it was a really interesting conversation. And it was really just great to hear how the young people were receiving that. And like the light bulbs are going, yeah, that's true. Because it did start with that thought that I thought, or that way that I saw a situation, and just realizing that that has a lot to do with the environments that we were brought up in. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to jump into week 4. Um, it was a pleasure to see the growth in the group, and that more young people are excited about this and they feel as though they have a say, a space, and security. So that's it for this week. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you next week.